The ubiquitous foot soldiers of India's thriving internet economy are discontented. We are talking about your Ola Uber cab drivers and Swiggy Zomato delivery partners. Some of them are now tasked with delivering your bread and milk in just 10 minutes. But as a recent report by the Fair Work Foundation, in collaboration with the Oxford Internet Institute, has found, the earnings of these app-based platform workers or gig workers in India have declined over the last 2 years. That's owing to the withering of incentives offered by companies and a reduction in take-home earnings due to a surge in out-of-pocket expenses. The Fair Work India Ratings 2021 Labour Standards in the Platform Economy, now in its third year of publication, serves as an indictment of the work conditions for this growing class of unorganized workers. This year, the report ranks 11 Indian startups which engage gig workers. It scores them out of 10 based on their performance against 5 principles, namely fair pay, fair conditions, fair contracts, fair management, and fair representation. And these are the results. Notably, Ola's score has come down from 2 on 10 in 2020 to 0 in 2021. This at a time when it has become notoriously difficult to get a cab driver to accept your ride request on Ola. Uber has slipped from 1 to 0. An urban company, which topped the list in 2020 with a stellar score of 8 on 10, has slipped 3 points to 5. We reached out to Ola, Uber, and Urban Company to understand the reasons behind the fall in their scores, but didn't receive any responses. So we asked the lead investigator for Fair Work in India, Professor Balaji Parthasarathi.
I'll begin by pointing out that a 0 awarded for any Fair Work principle can mean one of two things. Either that a platform does not meet the threshold of that principle, or there is insufficient evidence to show that it does. While Uber and Ola were awarded points last year under the Fair Pay principle, we were unable to do so this year. This reflected the broader trend of a decline in the take-home earnings for most gig workers in the platform economy. Wages were typically below the hourly minimum wage after accounting for work-related costs. Since Ola and Uber were no exceptions to this trend, the points from last year could not be awarded. Swiggy and Zomato were awarded their points in part for extending improved contracts to their gig workers. The contracts were, for instance, available in local languages and as a result more readable and comprehensible. There was also less asymmetry in the liabilities between workers and platforms. Similarly, the platforms are awarded a point for a documented process through which workers can be heard, appeal decisions affecting them, and be informed of the reasons behind those decisions. Swiggy was also awarded a point for adopting policies against the discrimination of their gig workers. But despite these changes, neither platform was awarded any points for fair pay, fair conditions, or fair representation. As interviews with Swiggy and Zomato workers made abundantly clear, the changes did not translate into either minimum wages, safe working conditions, or a willingness to negotiate with collective bodies. To the extent that such issues are not addressed, workers will continue to remain unhappy with their conditions.
The decline in urban companies' score has coincided with ongoing protests by its beauticians. The first protest was in October last year, as beauticians complained against urban companies' commissions of up to 30 to 35% per job. Urban Company responded with some concessions, one of them being reducing its highest commission for beauty service professionals to 25% from 30%. However, last month, Urban Company's beauticians again held a protest outside the company's Gurugram office. Their complaint was about new work policies, which would have beauticians pay a subscription fee upfront to get gigs through Urban Company's portal. Beauticians would also have to take a minimum number of jobs each month, thus reducing their gig work flexibility. This time, Urban Company responded to the protest by suing the protesting beauticians. This remains the first such instance of an Indian gig company suing its own workers. At the heart of the growing discontent with gig work is the fact that this new model of work hasn't lived up to its core promises. Startups in the ride-hailing and food delivery sectors attracted their first bunch of gig workers with the promises of good pay and work flexibility by paying these workers per task or gig. companies did away with the burden of having to provide them with social security and other standard employee benefits. However, wages have reduced over time, and gig work has become a permanent gig for Ola Uber cab drivers and Swiggy Zomato delivery partners. Several testimonies in the Fair Work reports over the last 3 years highlight how most workers have to work 12 to 16 hours to make ends meet, and yet they enjoy little in terms of social security that any employee would get. A PIL in the Supreme Court by the Indian Federation of App-Based Transport Workers seeks the classification of gig and platform workers as unorganized workers under the Unorganized Workers Act 2008. This would entitle them to benefits such as Provident Fund, health and maternity benefits, and old age protection. This, even as the Centre has come up with the Code on Social Security 2020, which recognizes gig and platform workers. Parthasarathy explains more.
The adoption of the Code on Social Security by the Centre and the states remains unclear. It is also unclear how platforms will respond to the code, although news reports indicate that some of them have pledged to build a corpus of funds. But operationally, what schemes will be on offer, the dispersal mechanisms, etc., remain anybody's guess. There are a couple of ways of looking at how the code mentions gig and platform workers. Firstly, what the code succeeds in doing is to make visible workers who are otherwise invisible. However, it is unclear what value the visibility will provide, considering that gig workers are already enmeshed in the workings of the economy. Perhaps not surprisingly, the IFAT PIL seeks the inclusion of gig workers under an existing regulatory frame rather than under a new frame. Secondly, it is also unclear why gig workers find no mention in the other codes. That is, what about their wages, working conditions, or their right to collective representation? Generally speaking, under the codes in their current form, the employment status of gig workers remains contentious.
A counter view to the criticism of gig work conditions in the Indian platform economy is that the e-commerce sector is yet to mature. To expect this nascent space to provide better pay and all kinds of insurance to unskilled gig workers who run in lakhs per company is a bit too much. But as the Fair Work report points out, with the pandemic having dealt a heavy blow to gig workers' earnings, urgent monetary support, and perhaps a recalibration of the gig work model in India is essential.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.